You gotta know what the data's telling you. Hey, I am Chuck the Bureaucrat and a big fan of space available travel. Not everybody is, and I think part of it is just the uncertainty that comes with this kind of travel. Of course, if you take a couple of simple steps like signing up for your return flight at the same time that you sign up for your departing flight, you can start to take a lot of the uncertainty out of this system. And a great way to do this is by staying on top of the reports that are published by the individual passenger terminals. If you remember, the Air Mobility Command has a website that organizes all of the passenger terminals by COCOM way down at the bottom of their website. If you pick a terminal like, Norfolk, you'll see that they've got a couple of different reports. A 72-hour schedule, a roll call report, and a 30-day schedule. Another thing that Norfolk has is this Air Experience flight schedule. That's for air cadets who are trying to get flying experience, so as a Space A traveler, I'm not really interested. Anyways, before we get into these reports individually, I want to make the point that not every passenger terminal has all of these reports. And while Norfolk puts these reports at the top of their webpage, a lot of the web pages actually have them at the very bottom. Oh, and not all the web pages use the same icons. That said, the reports tend to be very similar from terminal to terminal, and even if the formatting is a little bit different, the data they contain is the same. The one that people, like my wife, usually get really excited about is the 72-hour schedule. This tells you what flights are coming in the next 3 days and how many space-available seats are anticipated for each flight. Now, there's basically 3 ways that estimate of seats can be communicated. TBD, like you see here, that's usually pretty squishy. There might not be any seats at all. You can have tentative seats. That's where you've got a number followed by the letter T. That means there might be that many seats, maybe more, maybe less. And you can also have firm seats. That's a number followed by the letter F. In theory, that means that the number of Space A seats won't change, but in this game, nothing is certain. Of course, the 72-hour schedule also gives you the destinations of the flights and the roll call time. Now, just to be clear, roll call is the time at which all travelers have to be travel ready. This is when the parties who have signed up and been marked present get called in order to proceed through security. This is not when the flight leaves. In fact, that might be a lot later. Okay, the next report that gets my wife wound up is the 30-day schedule. Not every passenger terminal posts a 30-day schedule, but this report gives you a sense of when the regular milk runs are being scheduled. Like everything, this is subject to change, and there can be additional flights that aren't scheduled but pop up on the 72-hour report. For Norfolk, you see that they've got 3 regular flights. Naples to Sudo Bay to Djibouti, that looks like about every 2 weeks, and the same with Guantanamo Bay. Of course, the 30-day schedule doesn't even try to estimate the number of seats, but at least you can get an idea of what's coming up. The final report, and arguably the most useful one, is the roll call report. This shows you the recent history on flights. There's really 3 different blocks of information on this table. The first block gives you the date, the destination, and the number of seats that were released, along with the number of seats that were used. This is similar to that 72-hour schedule. The number of seats released is the actual number of space-available seats that were made available. The seats used is the number of Space A travelers who took advantage of those seats. So here, we got 10 seats to Spain, and they all got used. The second block of information, in the middle, describes the lowest priority passenger who received a seat. Here, it was a Cat 6 traveler, probably a retiree, who signed up on 179/1415. Weird date, huh? Well, that 179 just means that they signed up on the 179th day of the year. That was the 28th of June. And 1415 is just military time for 2:15 p.m. And then the third block of information characterizes the pool of people who are marked present for that flight. 10 people. PAX is just an abbreviation for passenger. And the lowest priority person was that Cat 6 person who signed up on the 28th of June. So for this flight, everybody who was marked present got a seat. We can contrast that with the July 24th flight to Naples. For this one, not everybody got a flight. 52 people competed, only 30 got seats. For this flight, if you were Cat 6, you were out of luck. This kind of information starts to give you a sense of how competitive it is to actually get one of these space available seats. Flights that fill up and have a lot of people competing for them, they can be tough, especially for Cat 6 travelers. And it's one of the reasons that I encourage people who are on active duty to try their hand at Space A. Since active duty members who are on leave they face less competition. In both of these situations, a Cat 3 traveler would have bumped the lowest priority traveler. So you can see why my wife obsessively grooms these reports ahead of our Space A travel, and why she signs up for more than just one passenger terminal. And during this video, I talked a lot about the different passenger categories and the steps that passengers have to take as they get ready to travel Space A. And if you're interested in either of those, you can watch this video or this video.